morning. Chalo. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Working now? Good morning, everyone. Hope you had a great tea. So, it was great looking at uh, other speakers prior to me. Sorry, I had a bad throat, so I'll go a little slow. I don't have much slides to take you through, but I will try to keep it more interactive, and I will take your queries, and we'll have more exchanging thoughts, because today's session, not only it's about that, if I'm able to add value to your current, aspirations towards loyalty, customer data analytics, and all those areas. But at the same time, I'll also love to hear from you so that I can take certain insights that possibly you are uh, achieving in your day-to-day life. So I'll be talking about and covering this particular topic, which talks about the technological age leveraging data analytics for customer loyalty and experiences. Loyalty and retentions. To be very honest, there is no more customer loyalty and retention. It's all now being amalgamated into customer experiences. Because at the end of the day, whatever we do in terms of loyalty or retention, it is all about we want to give a good experience to our customers. If we are not able to give good customer experience across the value chain, then we'll not able to retain or provide expect loyalty from our customers. So before I get to the topic, I just wanted to share with you where do I belong to currently. So I'm part of a team which called Metro Brands Limited, which is India's one of the largest footwear and accessories brand. And I'm really delighted to be part of that great team who is passionate about customer experience. Every moment they create the products, they ensure the quality, they ensure the experience, and we are amazingly hosting so many brands that you might have experienced in your footwear journey so far. It's Crocs, Fila, Proline, Vans, Metro, Mochi. So the width and breadth, all the footwear that you have been wearing possibly for you and your family, we must have presence at your feet at some point. So before I get to the next slide, I'll not able to share with you anything that I'm not implementing or not exercising at my organization. I'll try my best to share with you the experience that we have actually executed, implemented, but which are not proprietary. So I would be able to share with you, and you can, possibly that would be biggest value addition for this session from my side, that you can take certain elements out of it. And I would also love to hear from you in terms of that if you are exercising certain best practices, certain framework, certain personalizations, loyalty, retention, data, analytics, and many other things in your organization. So what I've done, I have tried bringing a framework for all of you, which we have actually following internally at our Metro MBL organization. This particular framework is nothing but we are internally following this particular framework, which is called Metro framework itself. So some of the key elements, okay, this framework, whatever this framework talks about, all these elements possibly you are already doing in your organization, maybe coming from different industries, but you are implementing. You may have named it in a different way, but you have been exercising this. So what essentially we are doing, we are following this Metro framework in our data-driven approach towards customer loyalty and retention. It starts with measure the right metrics, which denotes M. So this is most critical part. I mean, before, I follow certain things that, for example, it says that if your organization has a flaw in the business model or in the problem in the quality, please be rest assured that none of the loyalty managers or loyalty program will solve your problem. That's for sure. So it means that the basics has to be right. On top of that, loyalty can ride. Now, on a day-to-day exercise, another thing that we follow is that in loyalty, the biggest thing is that why loyalty exists or why people like us exist in the industry or for any organization is that our responsibility is to change the customer behavior. I would say influence the customer behavior through loyalty and retention program. Now, when you say influence the customer behavior through loyalty program, which means that we are expecting certain things out of our customer in exchange of rewarding or incentivizing them in different forms, whether it's a transactional reward or it's an emotional reward. Now, if I'm not able to measure the right metrics, I'll not able to start my journey, irrespective of the data you implement any technology in your organization. We need to first determine that what are the metrics that or KPIs that we want to follow in terms of loyalty and retention program. Just wanted to understand from the audiences and all great people around me, what kind of KPIs that you follow as part of your CRM and loyalty, day-to-day exercise? I'm sure that you must have all followed the value penetration of your loyalty program. Any acknowledgements, anything that anybody can talk about? Value penetration, that how much value that your loyalty program does penetrate to your organization. Now, the beautiful part is that your CEO doesn't want to know that, actually, that what is value penetration. So what happens, the value penetration, when you say the value penetration, it means that the next question will come from your CEO, is that, are you really increasing my overall customer base or overall growth to my organization? Or you are just bringing non-members to members and you are showing that this year it is 70% and next year it has become 75% of your value penetration. You cannot be fooling around your CEO. Another interesting part, some of the KPIs that the loyalty managers fool around, which is called the basket penetration. So the basket size. And somebody say, okay, my members' basket size is 2x of my non-members. My frequency of my members is 3x, 5x of my non-frequency members. I mean, don't just buy all those, because what what essentially is talking about is members, if you are not able to tell that what exactly the overall wallet share that your members are able to gain, if you are not able to show that what is the pre versus post of your frequency which has improved because of your loyalty program, then all these KPIs and metrics are just eyewash that I have learned over the period of time. Because these are phenomenal KPIs that every loyalty program try to convince to their CEO. So that's why what we do, we measure our specific KPIs and metrics which a CEO talks about it, which a CEO would like to know from a loyalty program manager. So that's why the first part of the entire framework is very critical, that you need to determine what KPI metrics that you want to follow. The second one is the experimentation. We all fail every day. Right from our childhood, we are failing. So failing is not a problem. But if we are experimenting into our loyalty program every day, every out, for promotions, for offers, for channel and everything, then possibly we are on the right track to find out the right solution for our program, because it varies industry to industry. So that's why this is critical part that we follow in our organization, is that we experimenting for every exercise that we do. So meanwhile, just wanted to also talk about that this particular framework, what I am talking about, the Metro framework, this all underlying there are technologies. Underlying there are AI-based, ML-based technologies, there are predictive models, there are machine learning, there are generative AI technologies that we are also experimenting, like I said, and the various platforms, CDP platforms, to manage the data, provide the customer holistic view. All these things are underlying this framework. But we follow the framework because we believe any technology which comes in our way is to facilitate this framework, nothing more than that. So, and the third one is the targeting with right content. So this is more of a distribution side of it. Deliver the personalized loyalty communications and experiences to the right customers, and also at the same time get the feedback out of it. So that's why we talk it as a, we say it as a targeting. And the, sorry, the real-time trigger, which is more of a journey, creating journey orchestrations. And also, okay, many people, many of us were struggling earlier in terms of creating journey, which were static in nature. Okay, you have identified in the morning that, okay, fine, this particular customer has so much of loyalty points. You trigger an automated communication to that particular customer. That is the end of the journey. But today we have evolved ourselves, get into a predictive journey. So the technology that we have deployed at our organization, which enables us to identify certain predictive nature within the journey, which is powered because a human cannot do that predictivity every day, every morning. So that's why the AI comes in place. AI-powered marketing automation, along with CDP tool, is actually helping us to get that predictive part of it and trigger and do the personalization in terms of our content, in terms of our communication. And the last one is the one view of the customer. That is the underlying strength of our entire framework. With using a CDP platform, we are able to achieve that. And the beautiful part is all the data that we communicate, even if we communicate to the customer, we always create a feedback loop. We get the product feedback, we get communication feedback, without the customer knowing whether he has opened email or clicked on the bit.ly, whether shopped, all these behaviors are getting fed back to the CDP platform, so that every day our data become rich. And since we are into loyalty and retention, we always talking about zero and first-party data. Another part which we essentially follow as part of this particular framework is that what we internally call is profile enrichment program. So we have established profile enrichment program, which ensure that we keep on enriching our customer data by taking surveys, feedback, preferences. Though we don't have any app right now, but we are evolving our program, and we are working toward that direction to evolve in the next future. But this is the framework that we continue to follow. And the underlying technology that I talked about, whether it's analytics, whether it's data, whether it's any predictivity, whether it's AI, and whether it's upcoming generative AI also. We are experimenting with certain processes, use cases. So all this fits into the Metro framework that we talk about it. So that is essentially the underlying skeleton to give a great experience to our footwear and accessory customers. I'll just take a pause. If any questions, any query that, yes, sir. At the back, pause.
Hey, hi. I just had a question particular to your brand. So, in the footwear market, we have some international players like Nike and this whatever, like other Skechers and all. And also we have our domestic brands like Bata, and we had the Stoil Corona and all. And on the other end of, lower end of it, you have the unorganized sector, right? Like the shoes that are made in Agra and other, our own rural domestic industries. So how do you position so strongly in the market, right? Metro itself has carved a brand for itself. And how have you succeeded in doing that?
Okay. Thanks for the question, sir. The first thing that I started my discussion, today's discussion with is that the business model. So when I say the business model has to be in place, which is proven. On top of that, loyalty harness additional benefit in retention and providing customer experience. But when we talk about the Metro Brands Limited, our basic foundations are very, very strong and clear. One of the foundation that we follow is the quality of the product. And if you see that, and it's a right amalgamations of international brand and our own in-house brand, which is Metro and Mochi, and Walkway for the smaller cities. But at the same time, if you see, in your footwear journey, I as a consumer, if I look at my footwear journey, we have the right mix of product categories, width and breadth, to cater to the customer's requirement, right from the kids section. Possibly kids section penetration is lower than the other players in the market, but we definitely have the presence. But we are a little premium brand. We should, I should admire, accept that, because our product price points are a little higher. We focus on quality. We have a different customer segments coming from different wallet potential and different age groups. For example, the Mochi, which is more of a Gen Z fashion. When we talk about the Metro, which is more of a formal leather. And when we have talked about the Crocs, this is also again the Gen Z, but it's a different product altogether, clogs. And the third one is the Fila newly added into our kitty, which offers you the performance and the sports. Proline, which is an athleisure. So, and Biofoot, which are newly added brand, which is more of a foot care experience center that you have added, where you are able to create your custom footwear based on your foot problems, different foot problems, whether plantar fasciitis, whether flat feet, such things, it's all there. So if you see the horizon in terms of footwear and requirements of a customer, we're able to present ourselves, but with the right quality and with a little bit of premiumness into the entire domain. And on top of that, customer experience that we offer, right from the store and from the back end, and this follows the same structure of this particular framework. That's why I started saying that rather than loyalty and retention, we prefer to call it as an experience. So I'll move to the next. If there's any comments or any questions, I'm happy to answer that. But this is the framework. I thought that in today's session, possibly you would be able to take certain elements out of it. And I'm sure that you must be doing already many of the things. I'm not naming any of the CDP platform or any sort of a platform that we are using underlying this particular framework to achieve all these elements out of the Metro. Okay, this is a very bad slide that I've prepared. But believe me, this is a skeleton. I mean, this slide talks about the value that we drive. This is a value tree that we follow. Every single, and if you see that all the economical value that we deliver as part of our loyalty program and retention as part of our organization, this follows this framework. This has the complete economical skeleton at the back end. That's why our loyalty program is more of a profit center rather than cost center, which may prevail in many organizations. We are able to prove that loyalty is adding value, but there is a science behind it. We follow this value framework. We know each and every actions that we take, what is to be measured. If you see the right-hand side, the key performance indicators, there are many more metrics that we follow. Before we even start our journey to work on these levers and the drivers and the business objectives, we know prior that which are the metrics that we want to influence. And our loyalty calendar, month on month, quarter on quarter, is well entrenched into our marketing plan with a clear objective that which are the KPIs that we want to influence for next 3 months. For an example, the churn, everybody follows that the churn prevention, new to repeat, many metrics that we follow. And one of the key parameters that we also follow is the redemption rate. But many organizations follows the redemption rate, but we also go deeper to understand how much incremental business that the customer gives when they come for a redemption. So that kind of granularity that we look at in every single action engagement that we plan. And whatever you see, I mean, it's a little heavy slide, but whatever you see, the drivers and the metrics that we follow, it's supported with the data, supported with our segmentations being done, our data scientist team. We have agency who is helping us. We are building our internal data science capability teams. We are expanding that. We want to ensure that all these things are being achieved. But if you see that major business objectives that any loyalty or retention practice will follow, which is increase your customer retention, increase your customer loyalty, maximize customer lifetime value, and definitely the customer advocacy. So all these further percolated to the value drivers and the value levers and the key performance metrics. But we have actually implemented for all our programs across the board. This is a real world, I can say, the framework that we follow. And none of our campaign goes out of this particular framework. I mean, as I said that I don't have much slides, but I thought that, I'll try to bring for this session whatever we have implemented, what we have seen adding value to our organization, and purely through the data and supported with different technologies in collaboration. Starting from CDP, which ingests the data, unifies the data, provides customer 360, and then on top of the CDP, there is a personalization, marketing, AI-powered personalization tool, which help us to do all the journey orchestration. And then outside this environment, we have our analytics team who help us to build different predictive models, right from the basics like churn prevention model, win-back propensity model. We are building our recommendation model also through the agencies that we are involved in. So such kind of models that we, in the data framework that we started doing it. And at the same time, we are actually doing some experimentation, small experimentation with the generative AI in comparison to the predictive AI. I mean, that's how I just wanted to summarize that, how technology is enabling and helping us to achieve our goals in customer experience, which definitely in turns the loyalty and retention. I mean, that's all from my side. If you have any questions or queries, I'd love to hear from you, and I'd love to talk about these cases, use cases that we deliver.
So I would request the questions could be done in networking session. And now I would request Ms. Prerna Mittal, Head Go-to-Market Regional Marketing, Tata Motors International Business, to kindly join us on stage for felicitation. And felicitating Mr. Biswajit Dutta for sharing wonderful insights with us. Let's have a huge round of applause for Mr. Biswajit Dutta.